It's my pleasure to greet a friend of mine, Michael Tellinger. Michael, would you please introduce yourself?
Thank you, Sam. I'm Michael Tellinger. I'm from South Africa. I work in the field of research, ancient civilizations in South Africa, specifically with the Stone Circle ruins and the mysterious civilizations that seem to have vanished, ancient gold mines, Adam's calendar, and that entire part of human history that has very much been hidden for a long, long time. I'm also involved in a global initiative called One Small Town, which is a community upliftment initiative that helps small towns to organize themselves, start businesses, and start fixing their towns and turn our small towns in all countries across the world into places of prosperity and abundance for a long lasting time, not just a short interim kind of solution, something that's permanent and long lasting.
Wonderful. Now, Michael, you've been coming to the Bosnian Pyramid District, visiting Bosnian pyramids, tunnels, and so on. You've been listening to my presentations a number of times, so you were able to follow the progress of what we have here. It's summer of 2025. Tell me what the Bosnian pyramids are for you.
First of all, Bosnian pyramids represent the coming together of a vision of someone that identified something and followed up and did something about it, and that person is you. So it represents a great example of what can be done, what can be achieved when we have a vision and we have a purpose and we are driven towards a purpose by a vision and something that we wake up every morning and it keeps us excited. Not a job, this is a calling. And so what has happened at the Bosnian Pyramids, what it represents to me, is a fantastic example of what one individual with a small group of volunteers, well, it's not a small group, it's a large group of volunteers over many years, 2 decades, can achieve with no funding from the government, no support from the government, doing this on your own, with people that are passionate about it, and look what can be done. The most active archaeological site in the world that is not funded by a government or some institution or a university or anything like that. And that's what I find really important for everyone that comes across your work, the Bosnian Pyramids, the Ravne tunnels, the park, and the ongoing growth of the vision and of the seed that you planted here 20 years ago. That's what you can achieve. For me, it represents the absolute pinnacle of passion, vision, drive, and I'm incredibly grateful that I can be here and share that with you.
You've been climbing the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun several times. What one can see there?
Well, you can see many years of work, many years of seeing something, recognizing that there must be something hidden there, and discovery. It represents discovery. It represents recognition of something mysterious. Being able to take the necessary steps to get to the bottom of what it is that you discover. So analyzing, research, proof that we have a vanished civilization, an ancient site that goes back 30,000 years or more or less, and the mystery behind the pyramid, who built it, why was it built. It's a machine, it generates energy, it stores energy, it most likely pushing energy into the sky or downloading energy. It could be so many different things. And then the connection to the tunnels underground that seem to all converge on the pyramid, that to me represents one of the greatest discoveries in modern times.
Since we purchased the properties which basically make the tumulus in the village of Vratnica. Now you are able to see it through different lights. It belongs to us now. We've done a lot of work there, and a lot of theoretical work, LiDAR, geometry. How do you see that tumulus now?
Yeah, the tumulus is really interesting, and I'm wondering if you're not going to find more tumuli scattered around the area. A tumulus for me is some kind of a, because of the way that it's structured, the layers of rock, clay, concrete. It's structured like some sort of a battery or an energy storage system. The fact that you found, when you drilled into it, you found a concrete floor, and then an opening, and then another concrete floor. That could be a cubicle, or it could be 2 layers of concrete. We don't know at this stage. If it's a cubicle, then it would resemble a chamber. That could be a resonance chamber, or again, a storage chamber that holds potential energy or whatever. So I see the tumulus. This is an interesting thing. It just came to me earlier today. As I believe you're going to find more tumuli. I see the tumulus as a backup energy storage system, like a giant battery or a capacitor, in case the energy mechanism that drives the Bosnian Pyramid complex, all the pyramids together, if that had to shut down or fail, the tumuli are a backup battery system to keep it going, so that whoever is running it can get the hell off the planet or go somewhere else. So it's like a fail-safe backup mechanism. If everything fails, get the hell out of here. That was like a download that came to me earlier today, actually. That's why I suspect that you're going to find more tumuli, because one tumulus is not going to be enough energy to power the whole thing, because they're two, 3, 4 big pyramids. It's going to require quite a bit of energy for a short space of time, and you've only got so much time to use that energy to transmutate, teleport, whatever you're going to do to get off this planet.
Now, in the last 2 decades we have discovered 7 entrances to prehistorical tunnels, and this time you had more time, more opportunities to go to the Ravne tunnels more often than before. So you are getting closer to the energy of the place, to that underground structure, maybe technology of the past. So how do you see tunnels this time?
I see them exactly the same way that I saw them when you first introduced me to them, and you showed me some sketches of the tunnels. They seem to converge on the pyramid. They all come together. You only uncovered a tiny fraction of it. And I just imagined, again, it was a download. It happened immediately when you shared some of the early images and the tunnels. I see the tunnels as the lungs and the energy source for the pyramid. It's like the lungs that we breathe. When you breathe in, if you put your hand to your ear like this and you breathe, you realize how loud your breathing is. It's very loud, but you can't hear it unless you do this. And it's the air that we breathe that moves through the trachea into our lungs, into ever smaller decreasing pipes, until it reaches the alveoli and the tiniest alveoli in the lungs, where it then interacts with the blood vessels and the capillaries of the lungs. So how does that mechanism work? Well, the lungs work on the principle that it is the sound of the air that you breathe that goes in, and because it moves into smaller and smaller cavities, the sound moves faster and faster and faster. So by the time it gets to the alveoli, it's moving potentially at hypersound speeds, because those tubes are so tiny, right? Which means that sound of the air that we breathe is highly, highly energetic. And I believe It is that energy, vibrational energy of the air we breathe, that energizes the blood and the red blood cells that surround the alveoli. And it's that vibrational energy that then gives our blood the energy. The blood cells are full of energy, they go into the bloodstream and they do whatever they need to do. They discharge the energy in your body. That's how I see the tunnels. They're the lungs of the pyramid. The air flows in and the air flows out. Because every pyramid is a toroidal field. It's just a square foundation of otherwise spiraling energy. And every vortex field or toroidal field works both ways. Energy goes in, and while it's going in, it also goes out, right next to each other. And those are the neighboring magnetic fields that lie right next to each other. That's why it's such a confusing thing. So I believe that the pyramid is breathing, the tunnels are breathing in, and at the same time some of the tunnels are breathing out. And that is the moving of air and sound frequencies that drive the energy for the pyramid. That's how I see it.
We spent a little time in the park. You did a short documentary of 4.5 hours with me.
Yeah.
Impressions about the park.
Look, that to me, the pyramids, oh come on, everyone's finding pyramids these days. No, just kidding. The park for me is just an unbelievable achievement. I'm blown away. There is no other place like this on earth. It's a park. It's a big piece of land that was a marshland with some water flowing through it, with reasonably steep hills and these two lovely valleys that go up over there, one valley here, one over there, and you've connected them together. You've turned this into the most exciting environment for anyone to come to. It is informative, it is inspirational, it is educational, it is filled with high-level consciousness information. The vibrational frequency and energy that is encoded into this is off the charts, off the scale. Everyone that comes here, whether they like it or not, are getting their consciousness levels elevated. They might not even be aware of it, but when they leave here, they're going to feel different. And the new information that you're sharing, the amount of work you put into the ideas and the pavilions, the display pavilions, the tennis courts, the sports facilities, the watering facilities, the children's park facility. It's insane. The what do you call it? The conference facilities. And it's just it's unbelievable. So between the park and the pyramids and the tunnels, just retire now. Come on, you've done enough.
Okay, Michael, thanks a lot.